Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Steins Gate the visual novel. I think today we might hit an ending. Let's continue. It's like my brain is rusty. My whole body is heavy with fatigue. The pain from my wounds has subsided, thankfully, but in the end, I couldn't sleep a wink. I promised Faris that we'd commence the operation at noon. Until then, we wait at Faris' apartment. I've already contacted Daru and the others back at the lab. I told them we'd be performing an experiment today.
Faris.
I can see the traces of tears on her face. The sight makes my heart ache. Oh? Her usual speaking habits return the second she donned the cat ears. What a nifty piece of equipment. Nifty. Maybe I should say wait. Maybe I should say sorry. But I say nothing to Faris' back as she heads to her father's study. By the time Faris finishes her farewells with her father and comes out of the study, the phone wave name subject to changes settings are already complete. I contact Daru at the lab and make sure the Braun Tube Workshop's 42-inch CRT is turned on. Now, all we have to do is send the D-mail. But I hesitate. Instead of meeting Faris' eyes, I look down at my feet. Eternal separation from her father. I wonder what Faris is thinking now. I can't stay sad when Faris is trying to cheer me up. I steel myself for what I need to do. Yesterday, just before she left the room, Faris told me the contents of the first email she sent. 100 mil for your kid, take the train. That mail stopped her father from getting on the airplane. As a result, he didn't die. But that wasn't the only effect it had on the timeline. Her father needed to sell the IBM 5100 to prepare the 100 million yen ransom. As a result, Faris never donated the IBM 5100 to the Yanabashi Shrine. With her father alive, Faris didn't participate in Akihabara's city development conferences. Otaku-oriented businesses never took root in Akiba. May Queen Nyan Nyan never opened. Faris wasn't as busy, which allowed her to join the Rhinet tournament circuit. In other words, this world line's Faris has a normal life. On the world line I came from, Faris was not only a student, but also the heir to her father's company, an influential member of the Akihabara Development Board, and a part-time maid waitress. Which life is better for her? Which will give her greater happiness? That's not my decision, it's hers. And her decision is to return to the things the way they were. I'm just here to help her wake up from this dream. Faris has already entered the cancellation D-mail. JK on ransom. What? I love you, Papa. See you soon. These are Faris' true last words to her father.
ちなみに、世界が元に戻ったら、フェイリスの今の記憶も全部なくなっちゃうのかにゃ。
そんなことはあるものか。きっと覚えてるさ。なぜならお前は今、過去を変える前と変えた後、両方の記憶を持っているだろ
う。だから、あんなに必死にフェイリスを助けてくれたのかにゃ。
それは、解釈は自由だ。
So, when we jump back to the prior world line, am I gonna lose my memories of this one?
I don't know. You said earlier you had memories of things from both sides of the change, right? So you'll probably keep them.
That's a relief. Don't take this weird, but this whole thing between us, I want to keep hold of it.
And I'm sure you will.
I feel my cheeks get warm, so I hang my head to hide my face.
フェイリスは京馬との時間を忘れたくないにゃ。
ありがとう。
I take Faris's phone. I'm sorry, Faris. I lied to you. When we change things back to the way they were, your memories of this world line will almost certainly disappear, and you might notice there's a little symbol there, which we're supposed to, I think, call Daru, or send the D-mail or something, and we're going to be incredibly dense here and not do that. Perhaps another miracle will happen, and you'll gain your memories of this world line too, but I can't be sure. There are no guarantees. And so, I will engrave these memories onto my heart. The memory of Faris, the Rhinet champion. The memory of her father, who gave thanks to a stranger like me for protecting his daughter. I will carry them for you, always.
それじゃあバイバイパパ。
It must be done. For Mayuri's sake. I must erase Faris's memories, just as I did Suzaha's. I feel like I'm doing something terribly wrong right here. There's no other way. I give Faris back her phone.
京馬
No.
俺はまだ夢を終わらせたくはない。
Don't jump to conclusions. We should explore other methods. After all, her father's life hangs in the balance.
別の方法を試してみよう。お前のパパさんを殺せないよ。
京馬ごめんにゃ。フェイリスが迷わせちゃったにゃ。
いや、いいんだ。俺が決めたことだ。
I don't have what it takes to be a god. That burden is too much for me to bear. Faris's father is still at home, so we go to the UPX cafe to talk. Faris orders a sandwich.
それで京馬には他に何か方法があるのかにゃ。
これは賭けになるが、フェイリスパパに送る D メールの内容を変更する。
じゃあフェイリスが最初に送った狂言の脅迫メールは取り消さないままなのかにゃ。
そういうことになる。IBN5100 が俺の手元に戻ってくれば勝ちなんだ。フェイリスパパが死ぬ必要なんてない。
Right as I say that, the employee comes to us with the sandwich and drinks. She looks startled.
ゲームの話です。
The employee forces a smile at my lame excuse, then heads back inside. I turn back to Faris.
だから例えば D メールの内容をこうすれば話は早いと思う。IBN5100 を岡部倫太郎に渡すまで絶対に手放すな。
I don't know, that seems a little bit too direct almost. Like he wouldn't even know who this guy was. Anyway, I think about 10 years is about the limit of how far back we can send emails. Phone mail didn't become widespread until then. Lukiko's mom's pager was a special case, but even that was limited to the 1990s. So I don't think we can do anything fancy, like tell Faris's dad to start stockpiling IBM 5100s in 1975.
でもその時期のパパは会社が傾きかけててお金はなかったにゃ。フェイリスが誘拐されたと知ったらパパは何を言われても IBN5100 を売っちゃう気がするのにゃ。
Tell him to invest in Apple. Faris frowns and takes a bite of her egg sandwich.
それは書き方次第だろう。最初の D メールに関連させてしまえばフェイリスパパも別の方法を取るはずだ。レトロ PC 収集家なら他にも売れる PC はたくさん持っていたんだろ
う。そんなのは結局大した額にはならないのにゃ。IBN5100 だけは当時たまたま法外な値段で買ってくれる相手がいたっていうだけなのにゃ。
そこはお前にうまくやってもらうしかない。 改めて言うが、これは賭けだ。
A bet to escape the responsibilities of a god.
改変によって世界線がどの程度動くのか、その結果改変された世界線がどんな世界なのか、もしかするとマユリもフェイリスパパも助からない世界になるかもしれないが、逆に
Oh,
ど
dang
ちら
it.
も助かる可能性もあ
Stop
る。
sending me stupid events. Stupid group. Hold on a moment. Sorry about that. Should really find a way to make that not happen.
確信なんて俺にもないんだ。だがこのままじゃいけない。このままマユリを死なせることもフェイリスパパを死なせることも俺にはできない。
A gamble. All or nothing. Is Faris alright with that? Two lives hang in the balance. I don't want to be making decisions that affect whether people live or die. But I can't think of any alternative.
京馬がそう決めたなら、フェイリスはそれでいいにゃ。
本当に
パパのこと助けようとしてくれてるんだって分かってるにゃ。だから感謝したいぐらいにゃ。京馬のこと本気で好きになっちゃいそうにゃ。
からかうな。
Totally missing his chance to go on a
ない
date.
にゃ。
Faris pouts cutely.
京馬はフェイリスみたいな女は嫌いかにゃ。
She stares into my eyes, saying nothing.
さすがメイクインニャンニャンの人気ナンバーワンメイドだな。客への媚び方をよく心得ている。
そういう風にはぐらかす京馬は嫌いにゃ。
Now, she makes a sad face and drops her shoulders. Don't tell me that was a real confession of love to me. Sure, Faris is cute. I don't have as much trouble dealing with her as I used to. I could certainly get used to the idea of being with a girl like her. I am a man after all, and any man would be overjoyed to win the heart of a girl like Faris. But this is no time for romance.
フェイリス、賭けに乗ってくれ。いい結果になると信じて。
フェイリスの質問には答えてくれないんだにゃ。しょぼーん。
Faris looks a little sad, but after a deep breath, she smiles again.
京馬についていくにゃ。その D メール送ってみようにゃ。
We have our plan. Will the dice come up odd or even? Not even God knows. I take Faris with me to the lab, and Dara weeps tears of joy at her safety. Mayuri jumps on her with a big hug. Kurisu keeps reading, her expression aloof. I tell the three of them I'll explain later, though I don't know if I'll get that opportunity, since we're changing the past, and head with Faris straight to the development room. Faris has already written the D-mail. The root of the problem is her fake ransom demand, which caused her father to sell his IBN 5100. This is a second threatening email written to prevent that. Its time of arrival is 1 hour after the first email. I set the timer and exchange glances with Faris.
もう戻れないぞ。
世界線が変わっても京馬のこと覚えていられるといいにゃ。
Even that is no guarantee. This isn't like Suza's case, where I returned the warped ward line back to normal. We're warping it even more. I wouldn't be surprised if there were changes more drastic than the elimination of Moe from Akiba.
フェイリスが忘れてしまっても俺は覚えている。
京馬、手を握ってほしいにゃ。
I take Faris's hand, then activate the microwave.
いいぞ、フェイリス。
送信にゃん。
Ooh, that's a small number. Wonder if that means anything. The warmth of Faris's hand suddenly disappears from mine.
Huh?
The summer sun fills my distorted vision. Looks like... I think Moe may have came back. Possibly. Next comes the noise of Akiba, the voices of the crowd, and the theme songs of electronic shops.
これは
Teleportation. I realize that I'm standing on Chuodori, right in front of Animate. Animate? The anime shop? I scan the street.
萌え系ショップが復活している
The world line must have changed. That's evident from the fact that reading Steiner kicked in. Faris, however, is nowhere to be seen. Even though we were standing right next to each other just a moment ago, hand in hand, she disappeared. Did her very existence disappear? No, that's absurd, especially considering how much Moe is here. I refuse to accept that. So, did our plan work? Or are things even worse now? I need to explore this new world line. I head to the Tenoji residence and find Nai there, home alone. I manage to convince her to let me in. The divergence meter is there, as expected. What? The first digit is blank. It now reads .2735349. Is it broken? Or is there a reason for the missing digit? Anyway, better make a note of this number on my phone. When I checked the divergence meter after erasing our memories with Suzuha, the number was above 4%, or 0.04%. The current number is significantly lower now. But the bigger question is, that missing first digit. Oh, wow. If you didn't know who he was, why'd you let him in? Nai peeks at me from behind the sliding door. She's acting even more afraid than usual. I don't want her to tattle on me to her dad. I better calm her down somehow.
いきなり押しかけて悪かったな。ちなみにこの家の場所はお前の親父さんに教えてもらったのだ。
That doesn't seem to allay her nervousness much, and she still doesn't come any closer.
誰ですか？もう出てってください。
He is rather strong.
出ないと警察を呼びます。
That's incredibly unnerving that she doesn't know who he
私のお
is.
父さんはとっても強いです。
Huh?
What's going on here?
誰ですかってひどいな。たまに会うだろ。お前の親父さんの店の2階を借りてるだろ。忘れたのか？
お父さん、助けて。
Why did you even let him in if you didn't know who he was?
いやいやいや、ちょっと待て。
ひどいことしたら舌噛んで死にます。
What?
いや、しないから。というより、本当に俺のことを覚えていないのか？
Nai shakes her head frantically.
会ったこともないと。
She nods.
それは悪かった。俺はお前の親父さんと知り合いでな。用は済んだからもう帰るよ。
My thoughts are a jumble, but I force a smile to hide my confusion and leave the Tenoji residence behind. Oh, did we erase our own existence? Something like this was bound to happen. It's a small comfort, but I knew the risk when I chose this path. Given that canceling the Suzuha D-mail only changed divergence by .07, a change in .2 likely means a dramatic shift in the world line, at least from my perspective. It's entirely possible that past events in this world line, my relationships included, are very different from what I remember. As proof, with the sole exception of Faris, all contacts have disappeared from my phone. That's nothing but pure horror to me. To save Mayuri and Faris' father, we warped the fabric of time even more than it had been warped already. To lose everyone other than Faris, that would be unbearable. That can't have happened. They can't have disappeared. I'm sure they still exist. My phone is broken, is all. Yeah, that's probably it. I knew this might happen. I accepted the risks. But at the same time, I don't want my relationships with my friends to change. I hold that desperate wish in my mind. Mayuri, Daru and Kurisu should be in the lab like usual. Once I get there, Mayuri will greet me cheerfully. Right? I climb the stairs to the second floor, praying that everything will be alright. And there, I realize that my prayers were for naught. The second floor is vacant. And of course, the time leap machine is nowhere to be found. Well, that's not great. Still, in a daze, I wander to the maid cafe in search of a familiar face. It feels like 10 years since I last saw that cat logo. I take a deep breath and open the door. Hi.
Faris. Mayuri.
I feel indescribable relief when I see the two girls standing there. They didn't disappear. They still work here just as I remember.
ご主人様、違うよ。あのね、まゆしにゃんにゃんだよ。
Mayuri smiles at me and strikes a cat-like pose.
あなたはフェリスちゃんのデュエルパートナーだよね。
She turns to Faris.
もしかしてフェリスちゃん、この人にマユシーの本名教えちゃったの？はにゃ？教えた記憶はないけどにゃ。
Uh-oh.
でも、マユシーって名乗ってる時点で、なんとなく想像はつくにゃ。そっか。
This feeling. Something is very wrong. Said dual partner. Does that mean like that partner that she didn't want to have before in the other world line or something? Faris brings her mouth close to my ear.
来てくれてありがとにゃ。でも、お客さんの前だから、彼氏っぽい行動は慎んでほしいにゃ。
Uh-oh.
彼氏？
Uh-oh. Oh, this world got weird.
バカ！言っちゃダメにゃ。バイト終わったら思いっきり
Oh
甘えてあ
no.
げるから。
Oh no,
それま
not
で
the
辛
cat
抱
girl.
するの
Oh
にゃ。
no, this is bad.
お前は何を言っているんだ？
にゃにゃ。そういうことかにゃ。最初からちゃんと心得てたっていうことかにゃ。さすが今日。もう、フェリスちゃん、お店でイチャイチャしちゃダメだよ。にゃはは、何言ってるにゃ、まゆし。そんなことしてないにゃ。
それよりマユリ、ダルとクリスを知らないか？
Mayuri tilts her head with a confused expression.
ダル？クリス？誰かな？
The coldness in the pit of my stomach returns. There's something odd about how Mayuri and Faris are acting. Does this mean my relationship with them has changed as well?
ラボはどこにある？
ラボ？ラブホ？
What? What the heck? Faris grabs me by the ear.
何をする？
今日まあ、一体どういうことにゃ？もしかしてマユシーとラブホに行く約束でもしてるのかにゃ？
What?
未成年にそんないかがわしいことしようなんて、今日まってずいぶん変態だったのにゃ。
ラブホじゃない、ラボだ。勘違いするな、バカ者。
Okay, thanks for clarifying.
ラボって何や？
ラボはつまり未来ガジェット研究所といって。なあマユリ、知ってるだろ？未来ガジェット研究所だ。
マユシーはわからないのです。ごめんね。
She doesn't remember. It can't be.
そもそも、さっきからなんでそんなにマユシーばっかに話しかけてるのにゃ？彼女の夢の前でナンパしてるのかにゃ？
The worst nightmares have come true. Girlfriend? Faris? Whose? Mine?
そういうことするご主人様にはお帰り願ってるにゃ。どうするにゃ？
すまない。
I apologize and ask to be seated. And inside, I find Daru sitting at a table for two. He's fidgeting for some reason. Why is he staring at me like that?
ダル、ここにいたのか。
I sit in front of Daru and let out a sigh of relief. I drink my water in one gulp. I was really thirsty. Daru doesn't try to hide his displeasure.
君さ、フェイリスタンのなんなん？
何？
どっかで見たことある顔なんだよな。どこだっけ？まあそんなことどうでもよくて。とにかく君ってフェイリスタンになれなれしくね。調子に乗ってね。リア充か？リア充なんか？
I'm really interested to see what their definition of normal is. People who find happiness and fulfillment in the real world, there's real worlds, normies, markers of normalcy, including having a girlfriend/boyfriend, participating in club and or school activities, going to parties regularly, vacationing overseas, and displaying a lack of interest in 2D anime entertainment. Those normies, normies.
おい、ダル、一体何を？
I shut up as soon as I start talking. Given how Mayuri and Faris are acting, it's entirely possible that my relationship with Daru has changed too. Better make sure.
俺とお前は初対面か？
当たり前じゃん。君この店来るの初めてっしょ。常連の僕はいつも他の客の顔もチェックしてるんで。
Creeper.
いや、結構来る方だと思うが。
この味は嘘をついている味だぜ。
舐めてもいないくせになぜわかる？
What?
つうか質問に答えろよ。
This is really weird.
フェイリスタンのなんなん？
俺は
もっと具体的に聞くべき？じゃあ質問その1。名を名乗りたまえよ。
Why do I have to be cross-examined by Daru? It's unpleasant, but I also don't want to anger him anymore, so I'll answer honestly. The question is which name to use.
法院京馬。
マジで？
Daru suddenly bends forward. His attitude changes completely at this. He grabs my hand, suddenly happy to see me.
ああ、そっかそっか。そうだそうっすよ。確かにどっかで見たことあると思った。
Am I famous?
フェイリスタンのデュエルパートナーの法院氏だ。いや、うっかりしてた。
Yep, now being connected to Faris makes me somewhat popular.
あえて光栄です。僕、フェイリスタンと法院氏のファンなんですよ。この前の準決勝も見てました。
He shakes my hand forcefully. His hand is all sweaty.
おい、ダル？
ダル？なんで僕のあだ名知ってるんですか？
いや。
The pieces are starting to fall into place. The lab is gone. Mayuri and Daru don't know me. We haven't met. We're not friends. We're nothing.
そうか。
All the time we spent together is gone. Every moment, every memory. Is this the price I have to pay? Is it my destiny to live in a world where even my best friends don't know me?
いやー、明日はいよいよ決勝戦ですよね。バイラルアタッカーズなんかボコボコにしちゃってくださいよ。
決勝戦？
Viral attackers? That means it's about Rhinet Access battlers. Am I participating as Faris' partner? But I thought the finals finished yesterday. So on this world line, it's tomorrow? I'll ask Faris later. For some reason, it looks like I'm your partner. And her boyfriend. But I can deal with that later. Right now, there's one more thing I need to know.
なあ、お前はマキセ・クリスって知っているか？
そうそう。確か論文がすごい学術誌に載ったとかいう天才少女でしたっけ？
会ったことは？
前に ATF で講義をしたんですよ。それは聞きに行きました。 かなり可愛かったですよ。
That's not great.
で、その人が何か？
いや、別に。
It was obvious. If the lab doesn't exist, then how could I have met Kurisu? I go limp in my chair. What about the bet I made? The bet to save my Yuri? Did I win or lose? I should know by tonight. If things go as scheduled, my Yuri will die. Was it right to change the world line? And is Faris' father still alive? If we save both of them, then I can accept the loss of my friends as the price. I have no other choice.